Hi and welcome to my new Pilates with a ball workout. Now don't worry if you don't have a ball. You can check out the video that I've put in the comments below which shows you how to make your own using a towel and a dressing gown cord. This is a proper Pilates ball, it's quite squidgy, so if you do have a ball kicking around the house, you can deflate it a little bit so that you can squeeze it fairly easily, or you can use something like this. This is just a cagoule in a sort of zip up pouch. And of course, you don't have to use anything. I've made sure that you can do this workout without anything at all. Let's get cracking with our Pilates workout. So to start with, just position your feet slightly wider than hip width on the mat, turning out the knees and toes just a little bit. Your toes might come off the mat, but your heels are on it. Holding the ball very lightly with your fingertips, and just lower it down in front of you. If you don't have anything, just place your arms down here. And we're just going to soften the knees a little and roll the shoulders back a few times. Whilst tuning into your breath, try and look straight ahead. Try to breathe through the nose. Just very gently pull in your tummy muscles. Lovely. And settle the shoulders back and down. And we're just going to start to sway. To the right, to the left, swaying the ball as well. So your arms move side to side and you bend your knees as you pass the middle. Let's lift the ball a little higher and turn the chest slightly to follow your arms. Trying to keep your shoulders in place, so don't let them come round, just try and keep them back and down. Now we're trying to flow these movements, so no rush. Try and take the same pace as you're going up and back down to centre. Shifting the body weight side to side, turning that chest to follow the ball, lifting the ball a little higher each time. Finish to the left, bring it back to centre, soften the knees, roll the shoulders back into place, bend the knees gently and bring the ball in front of you. Just to shoulder height, chest height. So breathing in to go down, breathing out to come up. I'm just going to turn to the side, but you stay facing the screen. Make sure that you don't lean forwards and stick out your bottom. Try and stay as vertical as you can. So you are aiming your bottom behind you, but you don't want to lean forward and stick out your bottom too much. So don't go diagonal. Lovely. Breathing in to go down, breathing out to come up. As you come up, dare you lift your heels. The first one is the worst one. Inhale and exhale. Gradually making that lift a little higher, maybe working the calf muscles. You might get the urge to kind of tip forward. Just try and control that, try and resist that. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping the shoulders in place. One more. And remember the tummy muscles are in, and lower the heels. Lovely. Keeping your feet in the same position, we're going to bring the ball just to chest height, soften the knees again, and back to our sway. But this time, as you bend the knees, as you pass the middle, you bring the ball in front, and then as you lean to each side, you're keeping the ball about shoulder height. So we're not taking it up to the top. We're focusing more on that rotation of the upper body. So bend your elbows a little bit. Holding the ball very lightly, bending the knees as you pass the middle. We've still got that lovely flowing movement. Try to keep your hips facing the front and your shoulders back and down. Don't let them roll forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. Just slow it down a little. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Tummy in. Just one more to each side. And come back to centre. And lower the ball and roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Lovely. Zigzag the feet to about hip width. Very nice. Shoulders back and down, soft knees, toes pointing forwards, tummy muscles pulled in. Raise the ball up to the top. You don't need to keep your arms straight. And just keeping the ball more or less above your head. You can even rest it on your head if you like. Just tilt the body side to side. Don't go far to start with at least. Now, we don't want to swing the hips in the opposite direction, nor do we want to bring the shoulders up. So keep your pelvis steady and still. Keep that ball directly above your head. Keep breathing, keep the tummy in. Keep your knees soft. Lovely, so you just get that lovely tilt side to side. You don't need to go as far as I've gone, just go within your comfort range. Just one more each side, trying to keep the shoulders relaxed, don't shrug them up. Still holding the ball very lightly. Bring it back to centre and lower, lovely, and a couple of shoulder rolls. Now bending the knees and taking a chair squat. I'm just going to turn slightly diagonally so you can see, but you stay facing the screen. So this time we do lean forwards a little, but not sticking out your bottom and taking your chest towards the floor. Think about sitting down in an imaginary chair behind you, and you raise the ball to chest height, put your palms on the ball, and as you sit down into that chair squat, just press gently into the ball, but keep your tummy muscles in. Press the ball gently. And when I say ball, if you don't have one, that's fine. You don't need to do anything, or you can put your palms together and press gently. Or if you have something else that isn't a ball, obviously do it with that. So we want to avoid tipping the pelvis forwards and exaggerating that lumbar curve. So try and keep your pelvis in exactly the same position as you go into your squat. Now next time, just hold your squat, check that the knees are behind the toes. If they're not, if you brought your knees forward, you haven't sat down behind you into the squat enough. Check that your shoulders are back and down, and breathe here, breathe, tummy in. Now just rotate your upper body only, not your hips. A couple of inches to the right, back to centre, stand up. Let's do the same to the other side. So hold your squat, check you're in a good position, knees behind the toes. You should be able to feel the body weight going into your heels rather than the balls of your feet. So you should be able to lift the balls of your feet. Keeping your hips still, rotate to the left, keeping the shoulders in place, keep the hips facing the front, back to centre, stand up, lovely. Now we're going to take a stretch. So raise the ball above your head. We take a pelvic scoop, stay facing the screen. So we tip the pelvis backwards, try not to squeeze your bottom. Knees are slightly bent, and curl down, tummy in, vertebra by vertebra. Put the ball between your knees or between your thighs. If you don't have one, that's fine. Place your hands on your thighs, allow your shoulders to roll forwards, tummy in, and enjoy that lovely stretch. If you want to, you can take your hands to the floor and straighten your legs to get a bit of a stretch up the back of your legs. Now put your hands back onto your thighs, collect the ball if you've got one. Take a pelvic scoop, so it's actually tipping your pelvis backwards, pull in your tummy and roll up through the vertebra, keeping your chin towards your chest. As you come up, raise the ball, use your tummy muscles, and when you get to the top, roll your shoulders back into position. Let's do that again. So we take a pelvic scoop, which is actually tipping your pelvis backwards, tummy in, roll forwards, allow the shoulders to come forwards, pop the ball, if you have one, in between your legs, in between your knees or thighs. Hands on thighs, enjoy that stretch, tummy in. Hands to floor if you like, or just stay where you are. Straighten the legs a bit till fully. Rebend the knees, scoop pelvis, roll up, collect ball. Tummy in, come up vertebra by vertebra. Don't lift the chin yet, roll the shoulders back. Bring the ball to the top. Relax your buttocks, by the way. And keep your shoulders back and down, lovely. And then just lower the ball, very nice. Bringing the heels together, so your knees and toes are turned out. Let's get those legs moving. So we're going to step to the right, off the mat, taking the body with you, raise the ball above your head. You should be symmetrical here. Bring your heels back together. Go to the left, bending both knees exactly the same. Make sure you're not leaning to one side, that's for later. Bring the heels together. Hold your squat, tummy in. Stay facing the screen. Just let me remind you of something. Make sure you're vertical, you're not sticking out your bottom. Your pelvis is in neutral. The natural lumbar curve is there. Lovely. Bring it back. Over to the left. Just hold it here. Check the shoulders are relaxed, tummy in. You're not sticking out your bottom. Breathe. Very important to breathe. Bring it back. Okay, we're going to add something. So over to the right. Keep the hips, legs completely still. Rotate chest to the right. Don't move your hips or your legs. Back to centre, step in. Now to the left, same thing, but we rotate to the left. Nice and light on the ball. just turning the chest. Movement feels as if it's at the waist. Back to centre, bring it in. This time, hold your squat, we take a tilt. Don't shrug your shoulders, don't swing your hips in the opposite direction. Use your tummy muscles. Breathe. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Now, squeezing your bottom, lifting your heels, lifting the ball just slightly above your head. And lower the heels, lower the ball, bend the knees. Don't stick out your bottom, just stay vertical. Relax your bottom. Now squeeze your bottom, lift the ball. Release your bottom, bend the knees, but not too much. And lower the heels. And lower the ball. Breathing in here, keep the shoulders back and down. Breathing out here. One more. So you're really using your buttocks, but you're also using your tummy muscles to stay strong through the core. And then bring yourself to normal height. Separate the heels. Give everything a little shake. I'm going to turn around now. If you come to the front of your mat, if you imagine you have tram lines, one for each leg, hip width apart. So rolling the shoulders back, I'm going to step back with the right leg first onto that tram line. Don't have to go very far. Bring your body with you so you remain upright. The heel is lifted at the back. You feel a little stretch through that right hip and just hold it there. Check your right foot is not pointing outwards. It should be still on that tram line pointing forwards. And bring the ball to chest height, shoulders back. Step in, change legs, step back left leg, bending that back knee, lifting the heel at the back. You feel a gentle stretch through your left hip. Make sure that your body has travelled back as well. You haven't just taken your leg back, you're not leaning forwards. Raise the ball to shoulder height, step in. Now I'm going to do this from the side, but you obviously stay on your mat facing the screen so you can see what's happening. So right leg first, step back right leg onto that tram line, take your body with it so your body's vertical, palms on the ball, just press as you step back. So you're feeling that stretch in the right hip, relax your feet, step in, change legs, left leg. So hold. Now, another thing to remember is make sure you haven't raised one hip bone higher than the other. The hip bone should be level and step in. Let's do it again, right leg. Tummy muscles are nice and tight, pelvis is stable. We squeeze the ball gently, keep the breath flowing, step in, change legs. Press into the ball as you step back. Slowly release the pressure as you step forwards. Breathing in here, breathing out here. Just keep going. So your chest always remains vertical, the shoulders always remain in place, the pelvis always remains even, so the hip bones are always parallel to the floor, so the same level. So I'll show you what not to do. When you step back, you don't want to do that with your pelvis. Stay even. Okay, so we're going to change it up slightly. I'm going to turn around again so you can follow me. Right leg first. This time, lift the ball really high, above your head. You don't have to have your arms straight. And from this position, I'm going to show you from the side, we're going to curl down through the vertebra, as we did earlier, but in a different leg position, and just bring the ball to your front knee. Keep your shoulders back, but your spine will curve, but keep your legs in exactly the same place and your hips. So now using your tummy muscles, we're going to come right back up again, keeping the shoulders in place, and then we're going to step in with that back leg. Let's change sides. So left leg, stepping back. Okay, so shoulders stay down, and we're going to pull the tummy in gently, if you haven't got it in already. Curl down, bringing that ball to the front knee, just touch lightly, try and keep your shoulders back. Don't straighten your back leg or move your hips, keep them where they are. And then use your tummy muscles to help you come back up, and then step in. Let's do that again with each leg. So, stepping backwards with the right leg, shoulders down, keeping the body really still. You can press lightly into the ball with the palms of your hands here to make it harder if you want to. Keep your shoulders back, tummy in, breathe. Keep breathing. Bring it up to the top. Release the pressure in the ball, lower the ball. Left leg back. Remember, keep the chest vertical until it's time to do this bit. Keep your pelvis as still as possible Anchor it with your tummy muscles. Relax your feet, keep your shoulders back. Such a lot to remember, I know. Breathe. And release the pressure in the ball. And give everything a little shake. Okay, we're going to do it one more time each side. We're going to add a bit of rotation, so just a slight difference here. So stepping back with the right leg and raising the ball. Press into it with your palms if you like. Keep your shoulders down, keep your tummy in. And this time, curl forwards, but aim rather than for the front of your knee, but for the outside of that left knee. So twist the upper body. It is a balance. Keep your back leg as it is, don't straighten it. So to the outside of that left knee. You may even go to your hip if you want to rotate a bit further. Now come back to centre, come back up, release the pressure into the ball as you step in. Don't forget to breathe. Keep the tummy muscles in. Let's go again. So bending that back knee, keep the hips and legs as they are, shoulders down. We curl forward, but we aim for the outside of that right knee. Keep your shoulders back, breathe. Pressing into the ball if you want to. Go even to your hip if you want. And then bring it back, trying to keep the lower body really still. It's intense, I know, so don't forget to breathe. Release the pressure into the ball and lower. And shake out the legs. Well done. Before we take it to the floor, just bring the ball to shoulder height. I'm going to bring it a bit higher so that you can see my face. Shoulders back and down and in place. Try and keep the ball and your head and your shoulders and your chest as still as possible. Toes point forwards about hip width apart, knees are soft, tummy in. Just circle your hips in a clockwise direction. Or is that anti-clockwise? It's probably anti-clockwise for you. Let's say 4, 5, 6 times. Remember, keep the ball still and then reverse. Keep your head still, your shoulders as still as you can, your arms still, your chest still. Don't forget to breathe. So the thighs will move, as does the pelvis. Relax your feet. Lovely. And then I'm going to show you from the side. Take a pelvic scoop. Try not to squeeze your bottom and then stick out your bottom. As you take a pelvic scoop, raise the ball. As you stick out your bottom, lower the ball. So trying not to move your upper body. Try not to squeeze your bottom too much when you do your pelvic scoop. Stick out your bottom there, tipping your pelvis forwards there, tipping it backwards there. Try and keep your upper body still, your chest remains vertical. And now find the halfway point between the two and lower the ball. So you're not sticking out your bottom, you're not scooping, you're somewhere between the two. Lovely. And we're now going to take ourselves to the floor. So I'm going to turn around if you come to the front of your mat, if you're not already. And we're going to raise the ball, take our pelvic scoop, roll down through the vertebra. This time, put the ball on the floor. Bend your knees. Place your hands either side of the ball. Walk your feet back. Lower your knees. I'm turning around here. Come down into child pose, like so. So, if you don't enjoy child pose, if it feels wrong, you can always use the ball to sit on it. Forehead to the floor if you can. Just extend your arms. Enjoy this. And then we're going to carefully come up onto all fours. If you don't want to use your ball at this point or anything, you don't have to. But you can if you want to. So on all fours, make sure your knees are under your hip bones, your tummy is in, you're not sticking out your bottom or scooping. You're in a neutral pelvis position. Shoulders are back, back of head in line with your spine. Hands under your shoulders. Place your right hand on the ball, but bend the right elbow so that your shoulders remain parallel to the floor. Pull in the tummy. If you don't have any apparatus, just keep your right hand on the floor. Make sure, now you've lifted your hand, if you have, that you haven't leaned to the opposite side or indeed the same side as the lifted hand. Just keep your pelvis completely stable. Thighs should be vertical and equal. And we anchor the pelvis with our core, with our stomach muscles. Okay, so you can either roll the ball away and back, trying to remain in a completely steady position, or you can just lift your arm and replace it. Keep your shoulders in place. Now roll the ball out wide, or indeed just take your arm out wide, and then back in front, and roll it back in. So you're sort of making an L shape. Try not to sink into that opposite shoulder. Now with the opposite leg to this right arm, That's the left leg. I'm going to extend it without moving my pelvis. So just extend it, and if you feel brave enough, lift it, but soften the knee. Don't lift it too much. So keep it, this is a lot harder now, isn't it? Now keeping the tummy strong and anchoring the pelvis. Let's just roll it as we did, or just lift the arm and back, keeping the shoulders in place. And then take it out wide, and back to the top, and in. So just play around with it and see if you can hold yourself steady, but don't hold your breath. Can you take it out wide and back in? Just out and in. Remember, tummy muscles in to anchor your pelvis. You may well have had enough at this point, in which case just sit back and just rotate that left wrist, because we do put pressure into the supporting wrist. We try not to, we try and keep all the strength and tension in the core. The stronger your core gets, the less you need to press into your hands and knees. So let's change sides. So set yourself up, shoulders back, back of head in line with the spine. Make sure your thighs are equal, they look the same, you're not leaning, your pelvis is centered and it's in neutral. Okay, here we go. So left hand on ball, bend the elbow, just roll, keeping everything else still. Or lift it if you don't have anything. Relax your feet, breathe. Make sure you're not moving your shoulders around. Let's take it out to the side and in, and forwards and back. So you're making a sort of L shape. Stay steady. Lovely. Breathe. Okay, so it's all about keeping your body really still. Now, can you extend the opposite leg, the right leg? You can keep it on the floor, keep the knee soft. Make sure you haven't leaned to one side or the other, or you can lift it, but soften the knee if you do, so you're not using your leg muscles. Okay, well, we are a little bit to keep that leg lifted, but tummy is in control. Okay, here we go again. Keep your feet as relaxed as possible. Remember to breathe. Remember not pressing into that hand, that right hand, too much. You're trying to stay still. Try and keep that leg still as well, particularly if it's lifted, it's a lot harder. Use your core to anchor your body, but keep the moves really flowing and soft, and breathe. When you're ready, just roll in, bring it down, shake out that wrist. You probably find that you were better on one side than the other, so just practice your bad side a little bit more than your good side so that you even yourself up. Now we need to get onto our tummies, so I'm going to just put the ball to one side and hope it doesn't roll away. Walk yourself forward without shrugging the shoulders. Maybe walk your knees back. We're going to roll down through the thighs, bend the elbows, keep the shoulders strong, try not to shrug them, and just roll down through the body. So you're extending that spine. If that's too difficult, walk your hands forward a bit and lower yourself a bit flatter, so you're not extending the spine as much. Once you're down, bring the ball in front if you're going to use it. Shoulders back, tummy in, bottom relaxed, feet relaxed. Just roll the ball away without shrugging the shoulders, and as you roll it back in, lift the chest. So breathing in to roll away and lower, exhaling to roll back in and lift the chest. So again, we're extending the spine. We're not leaning forwards, we're doing the opposite. We're kind of leaning backwards if we were standing up. That's what would be happening. Lovely. Now, next time you roll away, can you roll the ball over to one side, but try not to lift the opposite shoulder higher. So try and keep your chest parallel to the floor. Back to centre and over to the other side, keeping your shoulders parallel to the floor. Lovely. So if you don't have anything, you can just walk your hands, just guide yourself around. Keep going, relax your bottom and keep breathing. So we're just trying to move the upper body from the waist area. Remember, shoulders parallel, don't lift one shoulder higher than the other. Have a breather if you need to, relax your bottom, because it always tends to join in. Relax your feet. Let's do the roll away as you breathe in. Exhale, lift the chest. Inhale, roll away. Exhale, lift the chest, roll away. This time, when you roll to one side, whichever side you've rolled to, lift that arm and lift that shoulder. So you're getting a rotation. Return to the ball, roll back to centre to the other side and lift that arm. So you're lifting the shoulder, so we are rotating. Let's do that again. Over to one side, keep one hand on the ball or on the floor and lift the outer arm and shoulder. Back to centre, relax the bottom, remember. To the other side, keep the inner hand on the ball or the floor, lift the outer arm and shoulder. return to centre. And one last time, we're just going to roll away as you inhale and exhale, roll in. Or walk the hands in. Not a big lift, it's not a press up, we're not pressing into the ball too much. We're just getting that spinal mobilisation. Lovely. And now we're going to roll over onto our backs very carefully. Take your time. Bit of shuffling. And now we want to stretch the back, but you want to do it very gently. So, bend the knees, feet on the floor, a little pelvic scoop, lift the heels. So your back will flatten out towards the mat, walk the feet towards you, bring the knees and feet together, relax the feet, bring those knees in just a little bit, bring the ball or your hands, arms over onto your shins, and very gently just press the ball or your hands into your knees or shins to bring the knees closer to your chest. This wants to be a very gradual stretch. You can rock side to side, you can put the ball between your knees and just squeeze a tiny little bit to keep it there. You can go around in a circle. Just enjoying that stretch of the back and round the other way. Take your time. Lovely. Okay, let's move the ball and take the feet back to the floor, keeping the knees and feet together for now. Try and use your tummy muscles. Try and keep your back flat to the mat as long as it takes to take your feet to the floor. It gets harder as your feet get closer. And now just straighten out and stretch here. Allow your knees and toes to turn outwards. Lovely. And then step your feet back in. Okay, so hopefully you've got something with you to pass. If you've got your ball, great. If you don't have anything, you can just emulate these moves without anything. So I'm going to scoop the pelvis, in other words, tip it backwards to flatten out my back, lift the heels, slide the toes towards me and lift them using my tummy muscles. I'm going to straighten my legs up towards the ceiling and widen them a little bit and just pass the ball between my knees or my thighs or just below my knees, you choose. And then you can bend the knees by all means, gently squeeze the ball, arms go back overhead, legs go away from the body, but try and use the tummy muscles, just squeezing into the ball gently, and then bring the legs back up, collect the ball, arms overhead, feet and knees together. Your feet might go to the floor this time or closer. Try and keep your back flat to the mat, use your tummy muscles. So this is the ball pass. Great name, very descriptive. And you might tap your toes very lightly to the floor. I didn't quite make it, but I'm using my tummy muscles. Bringing my feet and knees together, really trying to keep my back flat to the mat and my shoulders in place. And breathing, make sure you breathe. The straighter you take the legs, the harder it is. You might find a better place to put the ball. You might think, I'll put it between my feet. So don't worry if you can't get your legs near to the floor. Just keep passing that ball backwards and forwards, either between your knees or between your feet or anywhere else you choose. Using the tummy muscles, keeping the breath flowing. Lovely. And collect the ball into your hands. Bring the feet and knees together towards the floor, using your tummy muscles the whole time, not holding your breath. And take your feet to hip width. Very nice. So the knees are bent in a comfortable position. I've got my shoulders back and down. I'm scooping my pelvis just a little bit, not enough to squeeze my bottom, just to switch on the tummy muscles. I take a breath in. As I exhale, I bring the ball in front. I lift my head and shoulders. I use these muscles around my rib cage. I touch one knee, then the other knee, and then I roll back down. Okay, we go again. So a little pelvic scoop to switch on the abs. Bring the ball in front sooner to make it easier. I lift, I try and use all of these muscles here. I touch the other knee first this time, keeping my shoulders back as best I can. Then the second knee, or the thigh if you can't quite reach your knee, and then I roll back down with control. So let's do that again. Keep the ball up by your ears for longer to make it harder. Return to the original knee, bring it back to centre, roll back down. You might not go all the way back down this time. Then the second knee, keep the feet relaxed, try and keep the shoulders in place, and then return down the middle. Let's go again. Breathe. Exhale, exhale, inhale. If it's going to your neck, take the ball away. I'll show you what you can do. And you support yourself with one hand, and then as you come down, both hands, and then as you go up, you just switch hands. So you can always change it up if you don't have a ball. Maybe each time you do it, you can get a little higher, but don't be worried about taking a rest. If you feel you're using your neck and shoulders, it is time to rest. And that's what I'm going to do now. Just allow the knees and toes to roll outwards. Very nice. We're going to roll onto our sides. Onto one side anyway. And place the ball just above the knees between the thighs, bringing the knees in front. Now you can let your feet touch each other, but if you can, just lift your top foot so that it's the same distance away from your bottom foot as your knees are, so hopefully about hip width. Pull the tummy in, the knees are coming in front, the shoulders are back. You might want a cushion to lie on here. And I'm going to really engage those tummy muscles. I'm placing my top hand lightly on the floor, and I'm using my core to just lift the bottom knee off and keeping the feet the same distance apart. And I'm noticing how much I'm pressing into the floor with this hand and how much I'm tensing my shoulders and my feet. And I'm trying to reduce that tension and just keep everything here. So breath in, and as you exhale, lift. Inhale, return. And as you return, don't just flop, try and do it with control. If you don't have anything, it's fine to just bring your feet and knees together and just try and lift like that, using your tummy muscles. The more you bend your knees, the easier it is. Using the core, relaxing the legs. Now, you squeeze the ball very lightly as you come up, but try and relax your top leg. Just try and squeeze it with your bottom leg. So you're working the inner thigh of the bottom leg as well as the core. Can you do it without pressing into the mat? It's a lot harder. I use my bottom arm a lot more now. Keep your feet relaxed. So remember, just press lightly into the ball with your bottom inner thigh, with your bottom leg, so pushing upwards, but also using your core in the main. Lovely. And then just stay in this position. You can lower the feet towards each other if you like. Just keeping your lower body where it is. Upper body rotates towards the ceiling. And then back. So we just want a nice exhale here. And an inhale here. Or just breathe at your own pace. So do this 4 times or more if you like. Just keeping your hips and knees facing the same way, so the ball will help you do that. And then let's just hold that stretch. So facing the ceiling. This arm, if you can't get it to the floor, just bring it down by your side until it does touch the floor, because then you can relax into your stretch more. Try and relax your feet and your legs. Relax that top leg into the ball. Turn your head away from your knees. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. It's quite hard to relax when you've got the ball there, but just do your best. Okay, now slowly bring that arm back and your head back, and we're going to adjust ourselves around to face the other way. I'm going to swivel so I'm still facing the screen, but you just roll over if you like, or you can do what I'm doing and very carefully swivel round. So just lift your top foot if you can, pull in the tummy, knees are bent in front, shoulder back and down, hand on the floor, tummy muscles engaged. A breath in, and as you exhale, just try and lift, not too high, just a few inches. Using the tummy muscles, it's hard. Really control it as you come back down. Don't worry if you can only get a little bit off the floor. Don't worry if you have to press a lot with that top hand. Just as long as you can feel that you are using your tummy muscles. Keep your shoulders relaxed as best you can. And your feet. pressing into the ball very lightly with this lower leg, so pushing up using your inner thigh muscle. Just try and relax your top leg into the ball. Let gravity take care of that. How about if you lift your arm off as well? That might be too hard. You do feel like you roll backwards a bit if you do that, but just do your best. Try and stay on your side. You can feel all these muscles working here, hopefully. I can tell that when I take my top arm away and I don't use it, I use my bottom arm more, but just try and avoid that happening. If you've had enough, absolutely fine. Let's bring it down. You're allowed to bring your feet together now and just rotate upper body and back. Exhale here and inhale here. Keeping your lower body really still. You don't have to touch that top hand to the floor when you rotate. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Maybe going a bit further each time. You choose. Now hold your stretch. Bring your arm by your side if it won't touch the floor, because you don't want to leave it dangling in midair. Turn your head away from your knees, away from the ball. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Try and relax your legs as well. Tune into your breath. And now bring your upper body back to the original side in your head as well. Same side as your knees, and then slowly, carefully roll onto your back. And let's just hug the knees in here. Remove the ball, place it on your shins and just hold. Rock side to side. And you can either keep the ball where it is, or you can place it between your belly and your thighs, or your rib cage and your thighs. We're going to try and roll up to sitting using a little bit of momentum. Try and keep the pressure on the ball. It's when you come up about halfway, the legs move away from the chest. So the trick is to try and stay in this ball shape. So a breath in, and as you exhale, just roll up to sitting. It's quite hard, isn't it? Feel free to roll back down again and roll back up again if you enjoyed that. And then we're just going to take the legs wide and roll the ball forwards. Now when you do this, try to lead with your chest. Keep your back straight, your shoulders back. You'll notice that your thighs have probably clenched and your feet, so keep them relaxed. Just roll forward here and just breathe. So relax those legs as much as you can. Take your chin towards your chest, allow your shoulders to roll forward to get more movement through the spine. And just roll the ball side to side here. Enjoy the move. Or walk your hands side to side. Come back to centre, roll back using your tummy muscles and gently bring the legs in. You may want to stretch out your thighs. You can use the ball to prop yourself up on, or just on your elbow or on your hand. Take longer if you like. Not forgetting to breathe. And finally, we'll just stretch the backs of the legs. So bringing the legs together and allow the ball to come forwards. If you can flex your feet and get it behind your feet, that's great, but keep your shoulders back. Just allowing your chest to fall forwards towards your thighs. Don't worry if you're up here, just as long as you can feel the backs of your legs stretching. Keep that breath flowing. Very nice. And that's it. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, please share this workout with your friends. Invite them to come and check out my channel, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you next time.